Hello and welcome to day 18 of Vlogtober. My name is Tracy and I am the host of Knitting on the Float. And right now we are in the heart of the float house. This is where all the operating systems are. We have our geothermal tank here and the big unit that goes there. And over here we have our hot water tank, which unfortunately went on us the other day and we are having to replace it. So we have the technicians over today and they are just switching out the units, and the good thing is we will have hot water, but we weren't quite expecting to need to make a major repair like this. But this is the heart of the float home, and this is what keeps this place running. So I thought we'd just start off in here today. In a couple of hours this will all be covered over and look brand new. The technicians have just run off to get a part because they've got to connect some pipes up to the corner there that will then exhaust outside, because the hot water on demand is hooked up to gas. The great thing about the tankless hot water system here is that if we had a tank with water, it would add weight to our float, but because it is tankless, the water just comes in through the regular plumbing system, and we are able to then have, it just takes a couple minutes to warm up, but when it warms up it is nice and hot. So we are very thankful that we are able to replace the hot water tank, but a little bit sad that we had to do it. Anyway, today I am going to take you back to the couch and I'm going to catch you up on some of the stuff that is happening, not only behind the scenes here, but behind the scenes knitting wise. We are now on the comfy couch and I'm going to share a little bit about what I've been knitting behind the scenes, what I can share, which isn't a whole lot. I've been working on knit vent test knitting, and if you've tuned in to earlier in the Vlogtober, I shared that I have my yarns in here and the project is in here. I'm almost at 80%. This is an epic project. It is taking quite a while, but I just wound up my 5th color. This year, the yarns that are being used for all of the knit vent patterns are minis, which is fantastic. However, I decided to change things up a little bit, and instead of using minis for the big one, I am using 5 full skeins, and I'm using some beautiful wool barn. So I started off with Fairy Hill, and then I added in Flutter. The next color I added in was Blossom. Trying to remember what the name of this one is. I might just have to. I'm currently working with this color right now, and I'm going to have to cheat and look at the name. I don't have my glasses on, so it is Aurora. So this is my 4th color that I am currently working on, almost finished. But you can see how much yarn I am using, and I just wound up my final full skein of yarn. And an interesting thing happened. I've had this sitting in the sun. We've had beautiful weather this October, which has been wonderful, but I've been leaving my yarns out on the knitting table, and with the full sun coming in every day, this one got a little bit faded. So where I've kind of got a fade going, I actually truly faded this one. And thankfully, it was just the outer bit. So when I opened the skein, I realized that I had really nice brights happening on the inside of this Victorian rose. And there were other bits that were a little bit more reddish or faded. And it's funny because I picked up the skein. I thought, did I really match those two? But thankfully the main color is inside. So I'm going to need to be really careful to put my yarns away properly and my project away properly unless I want it to completely fade away. But these will be my 5 yarns that I am using for what would normally be a 24 Advent mini. So I'm almost at 80%. I will soon be adding this one in. Currently working with this and looking forward to switching over. And I am on the last page of the pattern. And I cannot tell you how many stitches are on my needle. It's epic. It is just completely epic, but it's going to be beautiful when it's all done. Anyway, that's what I have been working on. I've now seen all 6 of the patterns, which is nice, and it's a beautiful collection. So if you're thinking that you might want to knit vent, there's a nice variety of things, as there always is, and they are all beautiful. I still have my yarns chosen for the next project I'm going to cast on, and those are my violas, which are actually being kept in the bag so they don't fade. Oh, I hid the TV remote in my bag the other day. I'll put that where it's supposed to be. I was trying to hide it so Nathaniel wouldn't access the TV. So apparently he didn't for the past couple of days. Anyway, that yarn is done. And then I am not sure which yarns I'll be casting on for the other 4 projects. I'm still having a think on those ones, but once I finish this one, this will then be cast on because this will be project 2, and I'm trying to go through chronologically to make sure I have them all done by the due dates. Knit Vent is so fun, but I'm starting to get a little bit stressed. I know I've still got a little over a week. I'm a little worried about blocking this one. I think I'm going to have to block it outside. I'll have to take my mats outside. But as of Friday, we're supposed to have rain until the 30th of October. So we've had beautiful sunshiny weather. The rains are coming. Not sure how I'm going to block this. I will figure it out. But I cannot wait to share this with you in a little over a week. Anyway, that's what is happening behind the scenes. We're going to have just a quick vlog today because the technicians will be back shortly to finish off the water tank, and I really do need to shake a leg and get this big, huge, epic, beautiful knit vent pattern off of my needles so I can cast on the next one. And I'm so excited to get them all cast on and figure out my yarns, but I'll share what I can when I can, and I'm excited to do that. Anyway, that is all for Vlogtober Day 18, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Here are my beautiful yarns. As I said, I am not doing 24 minis, I'm doing the 5 skeins. But can you see in this one where it got faded? I think it'll make it look really interesting. I am a little bit nervous, especially about the inside, but now that it's caked up, it doesn't look as faded. But I guess when I start knitting, time will tell. But so, so pretty. I think it's actually been a while since I have shared some tugboat action with you off of the float, and I was just wrapping up the knitting and looked outside, and here is a really big tugboat pulling 2 barges, and I think what they are doing is they are doing dredging down the way, so they've opened up the bridge. It's now closing, and these two barges are being pulled by the Sea Imp 9. Only one tugboat. I have a feeling though we are going to move because he is really going fast. Look at that wake coming behind. And I got a wave. I tell ya, there's never a dull moment on the river. I don't normally feel the movement, but right now I am swaying.